Hello and welcome! This video about dual swords and we're starting! So the first thing what I want to start, we unfortunately didn't get 400 likes on the previous video. So I read all your comments about how to play Rubric, exactly how to play Spear, how to play ChillHowl. I got something new for me, thank you for your comments. And also don't forget to put your comments if you want to see something new in my channel. Let's say you want to see 0 to hero, just put please in comments. Fakturka, I want to see more 0 to heroes exactly on these weapons like dual swords, ChillHowls, please, and something like that. If you want to see Rubric, how to play, please, you can put comment, Fakturka, please give me more how to play Bedrock Mace, Battle Axe, something like double-bladed stuff, and I'm reading all your comments and I appreciate for that, so it will be really nice for me. And can we get 500 likes on this video? Because I'm starting to explain about dual swords. And I think first thing what you wanna hear from me, playable this build in 6.0, 6.1, 7.0 and etc. Guys, this build so unique. First of all, this build playable on Stalker Corrupted Dungeons, this build playable on Slayer Corrupted Dungeons, this build playable in open world, in the Mists, in the Hellgates, but of course with a different equipment. So yes, this build can be playable with a 6.0, with a 8.0. The best AP for Corrupted Dungeons, let's say for Stalkers, it will be enough 6.0. 6.1, maximum, because you don't need more. What about Slayer level? If you're kinda new player, I would recommend to start 6.2 and no more. Just try, open something new for you and only then start play 8.0 or 8.1. For kinda media or higher players, I would recommend to start from 1.8, from 8.1 plus overcharge on Slayer level. What about Mists? This build, I seen that it playable with a 6.3 masterpiece and higher. So I didn't see that this build playable with a 5.1, with a 5.2, it looks kinda weak in the Mists. I'm usually playing in the Mists only 8.3 or 8.2. What about some variations of the build and how it's playable? So let's say we're playing Stalker and we have not so much money. So I would recommend play 6.0 dual swords, 6.0 mercenary jacket, and it's up to you. You can actually use ChillHowl, Hunter Hood, Guardian helmet, helmet of valor, it's just all up to you. What about boots? It's always play boots with the second skill with the second passive, mercenary jacket with the third skill with the first passive, ChillHowl, third skill, first passive, and dual swords. And now what about variations of the builds? So let's say we're playing Stalker Corrupted Dungeons. I would recommend to play 6.0, 6.1 maximum. So we're taking dual swords, we're taking mercenary jacket. Now what about Cowl? You can use ChillHowl, you can use Hunter Hood, Guardian helmet, helmet of valor. It's just all up to you. You can actually use Mage Cowl, but I can't recommend. Also plate boots, any plate boots, that for cape. So what about ChillHowl? I think, just my personal opinion, that it's must of the strongest cowls. Because we have Purge, we have targeted Purge. What's the difference between Helmet of Valor? Helmet of Valor good for Mists. Because with the Helmet of Valor, we can cleanse, actually purge, from our enemies some invis effects, like Undead Cape, like Assassin Jacket Ambush. Helmet of Valor kinda not good in Corrupt Dungeons, so that's why we're taking ChillHowl against Mercenary Jackets, Cleric Crops, stacks on Spears, stack on Swords and something like that. So what about Hunter Hood? Hunter Hood nice against like face-to-face matchups like Trinity, dual swords. If you will predict your Hunter Hood on E-skill on dual swords, it's almost a win for you. Also, what about Guardian Helmet? Guardian Helmet can be playable against curses, fires, because you can cleanse the stacks from you and something like that. What about Mage Cowl? It's just extra damage, so it's kind of risky, but you also can try, of course. Now what about skills and passive in this build? What I said early, we can play any plate boots, because we're always playing with the second skill and second passive. What about Mercenary Jacket? We're always playing with the third skill and first passive. Sometimes we can take Quick Thinker against kite builds, like, you know, bows, ChillHowls and something like that. You should know it from my previous video. What about Inferno Shield? I would not recommend to use Inferno Shield in any matchups. Like, not kite builds, not face-to-face, because Bloodlust, in my opinion, always better, because we can realize it on some different crystals or mobs. What about ChillHowl? Because this is video about exactly ChillHowl. We're playing with a Purge, third skill, and first passive. Now what about Dual Swords? Listen, that's important. We're always playing with the first Q, exactly while PvE, because that's just a nice such damage. What about choose of W, and what variations of the fights we need to use some first, second, third fight, you know, third. Look, Hamstring, in my opinion, kinda weak W. It's just only my personal opinion. So I will not talk about Hamstring. Only Splitting Slash, Parry Strike, Iron Will, and Interrupt. Parry Strike we can use against one-hand curse for avoid some damage from the ultimate from curse stuff. Also we can use Parry Strike against Trinity Spear, you know, to get their E in our Parry Strike and reflect all the damage. So variations when we can play Parry Strike actually so many, so it's up to you when to use. But Parry Strike against Trinity, one-hand curse, and sometimes against dual swords. What about Iron Will? Iron Will, guys, I've seen that so many people just still don't know about it. Iron Will grants you immunity to purges while active. It means that you cannot be purged while Iron Will effect. It means that when we're playing with the Iron Will and our enemy have ChillHowl or Mage Robe, we don't care about it. We're just using Mercenary Jacket and Iron Will at the same time, and we don't care about any purges like the next 3 seconds. Now, what about Interrupt? Interrupt, nice skill when we know that our enemy will stay AFK, you know. So it can be Druid, it can be do some dual swords, it can be Trinity Spear, but Interrupt actually kinda, you know, risky choose of the W. Instead of Interrupt, you can use Splitting Slash, because Splitting Slash have a nice kite potential. We can use Splitting Slash, then E, and just run away from our enemy. We don't care about it. We just deal too much damage. Why not just make a little reset? And then, just again, W, E skill, you know, we can just win by kite. And also, what about Iron Will? Iron Will we sometimes can use against bows, ChillHowls, because sometimes there is not enough mobility when we're playing with the 3 stacks on Q and Frost or Bow too far from us. Iron Will can help to increase duration of your Q stacks. That's important. And now what about consumables? We're using Ailstone or Pure Snapper. It depends on the situations. If you want a cheap version of the food, I would recommend beef stew or omelette. Omelette is just only a cooldown rate, you know, decrease your cooldown rate. What about beef stew? It's a damage, so I think beef stew kinda better. But what about expensive? Ailstone and Pure Snapper. So first of all, Ailstone increase all damage you deal and cooldown rate by 10, you know, 11.6, 10.5, depends on the quality of the food. Why Ailstone? Increase all damage. We have nice damage from E, now we have nice damage from W. And also, what about cooldown rate? We have less cooldown on E, less cooldown on W, and less cooldown on our run. It means that we can kite our enemy or catch some really fast builds like bows, ChillHowls, who have really nice potential to kite or just always reset. What about Pure Snapper? Yo, you will use it not so often like Ailstone, but Pure Snapper can help you in the matchup against spears. Yes, spears, dual swords, you know, face-to-face matchups. When you know that you're gonna face-to-face only It can be Daybreaker, it can be one-hand spear, it can be dual swords, and something like that. It actually can be one-hand fire who playing with the first key. So be careful with it, because choose of the food will predict your win or lose. Now, let's see what fights are actually prepared for you. I hope you will like and enjoy. Что, стой! Боже. Ну ты ИП, у тебя заработок больше 2,4 миллиона, правильно? Как бы... Ай, блин, друга придавила нафиг опять. Ответь, блин, опять друга придавила нафиг. Что в прошлый... А, ты придавила опять. Ух ты, нифига ты что. Он умер, кстати, вот. Я только сейчас понял, что ну... Только сейчас. Что нафиг происходит? Что за санина? Please! 17 million! А, он же без РНБ. Что-то я думал, у него РНБ есть. Я боялся. Еще боялся. fucking fuck, блин! Что я делаю? Блин! Капец, какой же я лох! I'm so bad! I'm so bad! Thanks everyone for watching. There will be more videos on my channel soon, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Спасибо всем за просмотр, скоро будет больше видео на моем канале, поэтому не забывайте поставить лайк и подписаться на канал. Goodbye.